Welcome back to Vegas Views, Dawn Sullivan and Danny Miner. I hope you guys had a fantastic week. I sure did. Danny, how was your week?
My week was good, and I'm looking at this new set. I just love it, man.
I love it.
I'm sorry. Every time I look at it, I think we look pretty good. Yeah. You know what I mean? We definitely look good. Yours getting so thin, though. You can't even see you on camera.
Thanks.
I'm looking bigger. I'm looking bigger.
You look big like you're working out.
I know, I am. I gained about 7 pounds, but I think it's muscle.
Yeah.
But I started working out harder yesterday, and now I don't know if you saw me walk in, Don. I'm like an old man. I walked up a hill. I mean, this hill's like this, and I just kept doing it up and down for like 7 or 8 times because I want to start gaining like floors that I'm walking floors. So.
Absolutely.
But I'm hurting.
You're outside a lot, and you're always on the lake, and you're always moving, so you're constantly going. You're never just sitting.
No,
never.
Never.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna go out today. So when I get back to the lake, I'll probably go kayak and fishing and everything. I caught some big fish last week.
I saw
Did you see the pictures?
Did you see? He caught this big. It was a bass.
Yeah,
correct?
yeah.
Yeah, and you let them back.
I let them back. Did you see even in the video?
I
So
know.
people wouldn't get mad at me. I would let it back in the water.
You always let them back?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I just do it for fun.
Yeah.
And it lives like them poor fish. It's like us getting abducted by aliens. They're like, let me tell you what happened. Some guy pulled me out of the water and let me go. That's probably what Liv said. It's like,
They stuck this device in my face.
Yeah.
Said or talked all about it.
Yeah,
and back in.
But I've always fished my whole life. My father, Don, he hated fishing. But he took me because I liked it.
Yeah.
But my dad hated it. My dad got bit in the ass by a snake while we were fishing. Honest to God, he did.
True story.
True story. My dad got bit by a snake when we were fishing, right in the butt. I swear to God.
Not a dangerous snake.
No, not a danger. He
Okay.
still went to the doctor and made sure he was okay. But yeah, my dad hated fishing, hated the outdoors, hated all that stuff. But he went because I liked it.
Yeah.
But I've always liked it for some reason. You're not an outdoorsy person.
Yes, I am. I'm definitely outdoor. Oh,
I don't see
Shit.
Dawn's gonna go hiking with her high heels. She's gonna be out there.
So far from the truth. Anybody that knows me, most of the time, literally most of the time, I'm in casual clothes with a pair of slides. I do have a lot of sneakers, and I do hike and do things like that. The temperature is my only concern. It's got to be the perfect temperature. So if it's too hot, like today, that's too hot and sweaty to do anything. So it's got to be like a little bit cooler, but not too cold. So just time of year for me.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. Well, actually, it's more than a question. I saw your Mother's Day stuff. Happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers out there and even people who aren't mothers. I hope everyone had a wonderful Mother's Day. You almost made me cry.
I always try to do
Your
that.
Mother's Day TikTok was so cool. And I don't have my mom here with us. Danny doesn't have his mom. And it was something along the lines of like, tell your mom you love her. And, and it was just like, and I'm like, oh.
I think we all get like that, though. Like, when we talk to our moms, you want to tell her something good happens.
Yes.
Hey, Mom, guess what happened to me? It's not there anymore. Yeah. I was just trying to tell people that you don't realize how fast this goes. I even tell my kids, I'm like, listen, spend time with me because sooner or later I'm not going to be here. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I don't think kids realize that.
Right.
Your parents mean so much to you. I mean, honestly, Dawn, I lived for my dad. Like, I tried to make him proud, and he was proud of me, but I lived to make him proud. When he died, I kind of lost that edge. Like, I really did, and then I had to get it back. But honest to God, when my father passed away, I lost that edge of wanting to succeed, because I did a lot for him to make him proud. And then when he was gone, who do I make proud anymore?
Yeah.
So it's weird.
It is weird, and I can relate to that completely with my father as well. I think my father was more of the person that I went to a lot of the time for advice and business and this and that. So after my dad died, it was like, well, what am I supposed to do now? I kind of only trusted him. He guided me my whole life.
Right.
What am I going to do now? So it did take me a minute to stand on my own 2 feet, as grown as I was, to say, like, I've got to make these decisions on my own now. And I know, and I can hear. And do you ever hear, like, you know what they're going to say?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Like, I already know. If I have to make a hard business decision, I already hear him. Like, real quick, he'll tell me. And I'm like, oh, I already know. Right. So you start to understand and know what they would say. But, yeah, it is really difficult. Yeah. And it is hard. And Mother's Day, I think, for me, I kind of had that feeling, too. Just be grateful, guys. If your parents are here, I hear a lot of young people, my parents are so annoying, my mom won't let me do this, my dad, love them. They're protecting you. They love you, unless you have crap parents. But you know what I'm saying. No, but most of the time they just love you and they want to protect you and they are, I hate to say mom's always right, but a lot of the time, wasn't your mom always
Oh
right?
yeah, and so is my dad. It's just it's crazy. And you said you hear them in your head.
Yeah.
Like there's times that I'm doing my TikTok, I'm getting millions of views, I'm doing this. Lately it's been quiet. We'll get to that. The algorithm's messed up. But anyway, I get these views and I think to myself, I'm so good at this and I'm this and all this stuff's happening. Then I hear my dad, yo, slow down. That's what my dad would say to me. This is what he'd say to me. You're getting too big for your britches, man.
Yes.
You're not that good. You're not that good. My dad would bring me down to earth.
That's why you have your girlfriend.
Yes,
that's the same
yes.
thing your dad would do.
Yeah.
You know what was so funny though? On your TikTok, you said something that your mom would have blown this out of proportion.
Yes.
That day and age, or just the type of parents we had.
Yes.
Italian Americans, they got to brag on everything to
Yes.
everyone.
Yes.
I was crying, laughing when you said your mom would have been like, "He's a star. He's." Right now, in my current situation, my dad would have told everybody about every movie I'm casting, but he would have blown it out of proportion. She sat down with Al Pacino and decided that she's got, everything would have been so blown out of proportion. My agency would have came about because someone rolled the red carpet for me. He wasn't a liar per se, but everything would have been blown. So when I heard you say about your mom would have been like, he's a star, she would have had your followers up to 10 million.
Yes. Yes, my mom was she told great stories like me.
Yeah.
She did. My mom was excitable. She told great stories, but she exaggerated beyond belief. Yeah, I mean, she made the story was here, she'd make it sound like it's a good story, but she'd make it even sound better.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? She'd like Al Pacino singing Happy Birthday to him that day.
Yeah.
She would have said it was just me and Al. We'd share cake together.
His candles.
Yes, Al couldn't blow him out, so Danny helped him. He cut the cake for him. Like my mom would have it be blown out of proportion. Like she would think, honest to God, first of all, she wouldn't understand social media. She would never understand what the hell it's.
I will tell you something right now. My dad would have a TikTok.
Really?
My dad would have a TikTok every day. Where are my followers? What does my money look like? My dad would have been in that. I would have had to run it for him, but my dad would have been in that TikTok. Oh yeah.
Listen, we're very similar.
Yeah.
Like people either liked her or they hated her, sort of.
It's bitterness.
So she would have been she was like that. But if she had a TikTok, oh my God, she'd have been more popular than me. Because my mom didn't take anybody's crap. She didn't care. I mean, I care a little bit. There's times I sit there and think, should I say this? Yeah. Well, not my mom.
Yeah.
She would have said anything. She grew up in that age. She'd say anything. Yeah. She doesn't give a shit.
And do you notice as people get older, their filter really goes away?
Yes.
They don't care because they're like, you know what?
I'm retired.
I retired. I did my dues. What are you going to do?
Right.
Like, God's taken me already. I know, I'm going to say what I say. Right? That's what scares me about older people.
That's what I tell Liv. I mean, it's not like I'm rich, but I have a pension the rest of my life, so I'm not going to starve.
Yeah.
I'm always going to have food.
If you don't log on, I'll be okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm not going to starve. You know what I mean? So I think when you have that you have a backup plan, you can say a little bit more because you don't really care what people think. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's true. I mean, I'm not going to starve, thank God. Yeah. You know what I mean? I put my time into police work. But did you just see? That brings me to another thing. Miami police cannot get police officers. I don't know if you saw my video. They got a Rolls Royce police car now trying to recruit officers. They put a Rolls Royce with sirens, lights, everything on. Miami. They got a Rolls Royce police car. They're trying to recruit members. I'm like, how is this gonna? Oh, you got a Rolls Royce police? Oh, I'm joining the police force then. What is that? That doesn't even make sense. They're trying to recruit.
What about paying them more?
That's what I said. That's my video said. My video said maybe treat them better, pay them better, better benefits. Maybe that was it. Getting them. Oh, look at this nice police car we got.
Yeah.
Which no one's gonna drive.
Strange.
Yeah, I mean, but they're just struggling to get cops. I mean, it's horrible. I don't know if you saw some of the cases I did this week. Just scary cases.
Some stuff.
I know. It's insane.
What was it?
I just did one last night. I'm trying to think of it. It was friggin' horrible. I was so mad when I read it, and I can't think of what the heck it was.
There was something with,
ADH.
what was it? There was one that I said, oh no, that didn't happen. Wait, I know you had a teacher one last week, but then there was this other guy. He had
the teachers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you see the girl teacher I did on that? That video, a girl teacher, you ready for this? Had sexual relations like a 11-year-old.
Oh, you told me that.
Sending them pictures, everything. It was insane. This was a female teacher. That video, I think I put that last week. That's almost got 500,000 views. I mean, people are like, what the hell is going on? It seems like every day there's a different story that I have that's just insane.
I know you have a movie that you saw that you want to talk about, but real quick, I'm on a book right now. I'm actually done with the book, and I wanted to talk to you about this. Do you know much about Hugh Hefner?
Other than, I hid his magazines in the woods when I was a kid.
Sometimes conversation with Danny is like...
Listen, when we were kids, this is the truth. Okay? If a young kid, teenage boy, got a Playboy magazine, it was like the greatest gift in the history of the world. We got to see a nude woman, right? We would hide these magazines. I kid you not. We would hide these magazines in the woods, and we all had to, put leaves and trees over it. You know what I mean? We'd have these... I swear to God, guys hid Playboys in the woods so their parents wouldn't find them. I'm not kidding you. Now, my dad... I never saw my dad have Playboys. Maybe he did. He hid them good, but I didn't see that. But that's what I know about Playboy magazines. I hid them.
Did you ever watch, The Girls Next Door or any of that?
I did a little bit.
A little bit? Okay.
Yeah.
So now Hugh Hefner dies in 2017. Clearly, a lot of religious groups and stuff had their opinions on Hugh Hefner the entire time because he was pretty much I don't know if you know this, but he's always had 5 or 7 girlfriends at the same time. They all lived in his home. They're all young, almost startlingly young.
Yeah.
But of age thus far that we know about him. So I'm reading one of his ex-girlfriend's books, Holly Madison.
Okay.
She's from she's here in Los Angeles.
She had a show
made
for
her
a while,
life. She had her own show here. She was in Peep Show.
Yeah.
Fantastic person. Awesome. She tells her story. So I'm like, wow, this is so twisted and so crazy. And he kind of died right before the Me Too movement in Hollywood, where everybody was coming out you're not allowed to do this to women anymore all of a sudden. And I can't believe it took so long for all that to happen in our lifetime.
I could imagine what goes on. I could imagine.
So sick. So then I had to take it a step further, and I had to read his Crystal's book, which is the wife that he was with, Crystal Hefner, Harris Hefner, when he died. Danny, when I tell you, if you do just a small amount of research on the sick shit that was going on in this Playboy mansion.
Really?
Insane. You wouldn't even, I don't even know what to do with it at this point. Charges can't be pressed, obviously, on anybody as far as, people that work there or the staff or the maids or anybody like that. But it was a whole insane sex, beyond trafficking.
Oh my God.
Beyond trafficking. I'm going to send you some clips and some research because I know you do things in small tabs. I'm going to send you some stuff and I need you to look into this. Guys, if you're looking to read any books, please, the Holly Madison book, I think it's called Down the Rabbit Hole. Read that. It was such a good book. And then I don't know Crystal's book's name, but I just finished that one too. And these two girls, at first they didn't like each other, but then they agreed on so many things. It's the truth, what's happening, because you can tell 2 women that don't even get along say the same exact, very similar, almost same exact story. There was so much abuse and crazy stuff going on. Crazy. Worse than Epstein. Worse than, what's the other one's name?
Weinstein, right? Harvey. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
Worse than Harvey. You guys got to check these 2 books out, by the way. I'm on a new book. You know me. I'm crazy with my books.
Yeah, no,
I do 16 books a month. Is that nuts?
16 books a month you read?
And if I can't read them, I'll audio them out.
I didn't read 16 books in my lifetime.
I've heard that. So many people say that to me a lot of my time.
I think I read 5 books.
Because they'll come in my office and they'll say, oh, what book are you on? And then I'll let them know. And then they're 16 books a month. I did. Last month, I finished 16 books. Yeah, I love them. I love reading. I love reading stories of people's lives.
I do like that.
I only like the truth. It's so weird. You can't hand me the fiction ones, or I can't read anything about a UFO, or I would put it down.
That's not. Second. I'm not even going to get into that, but I have some stories. But that's all right.
Tell me, you saw a movie. What movie is it?
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I went to see Civil War last week.
Okay.
I think we went after we left here. I think we stayed and went to the drive-in over here. We like going to the drive-in.
The drive-in's cool.
We love the drive-in. We get big things of popcorn.
If you guys don't know and you're new to Las Vegas or you're just from...
We have a drive-in.
We have the coolest drive-in in Las Vegas. It's so old school, huh?
It is. And they got 6 screens.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They have 6 screens and it's good.
Yeah.
It really is. And it's cheap. I think Tuesday nights is $6.
Yeah.
So you can't beat it. But I went to see Civil War.
Okay.
It's scary. I mean, that could happen here. I mean, it could really happen here. I swear to God. It's about the United States and the Second Civil War.
Yeah.
And basically what happens is Kristen Dunst, is that
Kristen Dunst.
Yeah, that's her. And her husband, the guy that played in
Yeah.
Breaking Bad's in it.
Yes.
You know him.
Oh, she didn't marry Jesse.
She married the weirdo that had Jesse in the captive and underneath ground. That weird guy with the red hair. He's weird. He's been in a ton of movies. He's like the bad guy in it.
The one that was, he's in the cell, he's in that whole...
Yes, him and the weird kid. That's who she married.
Get out of here. Kristen Dunst married him?
He's like, I mean, he comes on, he's the perfect bad guy because he's like strange looking. He's weird. Yeah, she married him. Olivia always says, there's no way I would have married that guy.
No.
He looks
no offense, guy. No.
He looks like he's a good bad guy. He just comes off looking really bad.
You're done telling me this. Remind me of another good bad guy. But say Adam Sandler, then I'll remember. Something happens in New York. Okay, tell us.
So this movie is basically, she's a reporter.
Okay.
Okay? You're in the middle of the Civil War. It's happening.
Okay.
So they are trying to get to Washington, D.C. because the states that left the Union, they got their own army and they're going to Washington to kill the president. I'm not kidding you. They are they're winning. The states that left the Union are beating the United States. They're heading to the Washington, D.C. to kill the president.
Is the president blonde?
No.
I'm just asking.
Blonde.
Yeah, is he Trump?
Oh, no.
It's a joke.
No. But the reason they all hate the president, because they don't really tell you why the war started other than the president did bomb his own people. So that's what started the Civil War. He threw bombs at his own people, and then it just went off. So you're in the middle of a Civil War, and these reporters are heading to D.C. because they know that's where this conflict's going to end. So it's their story about the 4 or 5 of them that are heading to D.C. and all the things they see, and it's bad. That Kristen Dunst's husband, he gets them, and they're like, we're Americans. What are you doing? He goes, what kind of Americans are you? Yeah, it was like, and it was brutal war, and you're thinking to yourself, we are a powder cake right now. This shit could happen. Yeah. This shit could happen, and we'll see after November what the hell's gonna happen. It was scary. It was scary that it could happen in the United States, but it can.
It was like nowadays. It was like
Civil War.
Was it weird to watch a war in our days? What was the internet doing?
And it was New York. Most of it was New York City.
Yeah.
They were fighting in New York City, and they were heading to Washington, but they had to take a different route because roads were blocked off.
I have to go see this.
It was a war.
Making this, I have to go see it.
Civil War. Go watch it. It was really good. 2 thumbs up. Now the Planet of the Apes is over there. I love the Planet. You don't like the Planet of the Apes?
Oh.
Listen, I hate movies like Superman, Spider. I don't watch any of that crap. But Planet of the Apes, I just, for some reason.
You always like, I love you, but you shit on my stuff. You know, I made Spider-Man. That was one of my first movies ever casted. Every time I have a project, you're like, yeah, I hate that shit. And I'm like, oh, thanks.
I wouldn't watch a Superman or Spider-Man movie if they paid me. If they said, here's $1,000, watch this.
As a kid, you didn't like any of that?
No.
You were busy in the woods.
I was busy. I played all 4 sports, not 3 sports, basketball, football. So I was busy all the time. And then I fished and I did everything else.
So an outdoor kid, not necessarily a Superman type, a Spider-Man type. But no, that's good though. You weren't there watching.
I'm not with make believe. I don't think I have powers. I'm not shooting webs. To me, that's geeky stuff. Okay? I'm not watching that. I've never been into that ever. I just think it's fantasy.
I think it's funny though. I don't do fantasy either.
Yeah.
It has to be real, legit, tangible. Someone's life, a story, something real. I can't get along with
Listen, I'm gonna throw a wrench into this and get her all mad. Just so you know. Did you see the video I did about the Vatican?
No.
You didn't see that?
No.
See?
This week has been nuts with the movie.
This video would have got you. I'm surprised you didn't make a comment. I knew that you.
Oh, you're not making fun of Jesus.
No, I'm not making fun of Jesus. The Vatican came out. I'm not kidding you. This is true, Don, because I know you think I make stories up. And maybe I embellish a little bit, but this one's not made up. This one's not made up, all right? The Vatican came out with guidelines. They're having a live broadcast on the 17th of what to do if there's apparitions in the sky. I'm not kidding you. It's from the Vatican.
Okay.
I'm just telling you.
Did you see this yourself?
Yes. No, it's true. It's 100% true. It's on Fox News, CNN, the Vatican. Everybody's doing video. People are like, why would they come out with this?
Because they have to.
You think?
Well, yeah. Why else would they? That is the only, because they have to, because we're about to know.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
They said
If that is true.
It's true. It's 100% true. I'll Google it for you right now because I knew she wouldn't believe me. I knew it.
If that is true, then something is going down, and we
Yes.
should be a little bit concerned.
Yes.
To what's going on that we now have to be exposed, and that's the truth.
I'm 55 years old, right? Whenever did the Vatican come out and tell us they're going to have a meeting about apparitions in the sky and what to do if we see apparitions in the sky? I'm not kidding you. Another
right
phenomenon.
there, that is confirmation that it's real and true.
Yes. And they said that...
Because you know me, I'm not going to believe it coming out of anywhere else.
I know. Thank God for the Vatican. Because
Right.
she'll believe that.
Yes.
But any of these other guys...
No.
It just... To me, like when I did a video, of course. As soon as I saw it, I thought, what? This is crazy. So, I mean, everybody's doing videos. A guy was live all night last night talking about the Vatican saying this. They're like, they say, and they specified, they're like angels, Jesus himself. Honest to God, they like specified this. I'm not kidding that there's going to be apparitions. I'm not kidding you. And listen, you don't think it's weird that we all saw the northern friggin' lights? When did we ever see that? All of a sudden, everybody can see the northern lights. I'm telling you right now, shit's going down. I'm telling you right now, and you're going to say, Danny was right. But we're not going to be able to contact them. There's going to be no cell service, nothing. We're going to be screwed.
What are we going to do? No, really, do you have a plan in place? I know you believe. Do you have a plan in place?
Honest to God, I thought about this last night. I thought about finding a location if shit hits the fan that we can all meet my family. Because I believe sooner or later, something's going on.
Something is going on. I 100% believe that. 100%.
And listen, we're going to take a break in 2 minutes. I'm going to Google this to make sure Don knows that I'm not lying, that the Vatican released this. But Don, honestly, for the Vatican to release that you got to agree that's real.
Yeah.
They're talking about apparitions in the sky.
They're telling us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't know, the sky's looking weird to me. I don't know. I think shit's hitting the fan. Why are we seeing these northern lights? That's weird to me. I know there's some kind of science bullshit around it, and they hide behind this science crap. Oh, it's science. It's science. You never saw the northern lights before, but guess what? Now we can.
Did you just say we hide behind this science?
We do. It's always on science. It's science. It's science. I don't believe
These
that
people
crap.
spend their lives in science.
They believe, but see, they only are going by what they know. I always say that. You're only going by what you know. Listen, I'm going to, and we're going to get back, but let's do this. Why are you Christian? Because you were brought up in that.
I wasn't. I was not brought up a Christian.
You switched over to it.
I was with no religion at all as a young person. I think we mentioned God in the house here and there, but I found Jesus.
Okay, but 90% of the people
were born in
97% of the people.
Well, to answer your question the way you want to hear it, yes, I talked myself into it.
Okay, but if I was in Middle East, if I was born in the Middle East, I'd be Muslim. I was born in the United States. I'm an Italian Catholic. That's why I was born into. I didn't choose any of this crap. Okay, it was chosen for us.
But you have free will to change your mind.
I agree, but what I'm trying to say is our beliefs are there from when we were a little kid.
Absolutely.
And listen, okay. Now, I don't want to offend you so much.
You can't offend me.
Okay, I heard this from a person, and we'll get on to the subject. But if you didn't never heard about Jesus, okay, never heard about it until you were an adult, and he told you, Don, I don't know if you notice, there's this guy in the sky knows everything. He knows everything you do. He's watching you. He loves you. But God forbid you eat that apple, you're burning for the rest of your life in a stake to burn. You would never believe that as an adult. Never. But as kids, you believe it. Now listen, I'm just saying, I'm not saying that my dad's up there. Please forgive him, Jesus. I know my dad's with Jesus right now saying, but God gave me a free mind. I got to realize that this is a little weird. And why do I believe it? I believe it because I was a little kid. If you told me this as an adult, there's a man upstairs, and then he told me when it's thundering, he's moving his furniture, he's washing his floors when it rains. That stuff I was told. I personally think it's all BS. I do. I hope I'm wrong.
But you do believe in God.
There's times times I don't. I gotta admit it. I mean, I gotta be true to myself. I can't lie to myself. There's times I doubt it.
Can you put him on our prayer list, please? He needs our prayer list. Thank you. I will be praying for you, Danny.
But what I'm saying is
God is doing everything in your life right now. Everything.
I mean, it's weird because I have a cross on my head. I'm just saying we were brought into this. I didn't have a choice. I didn't have no choice.
What you do as an adult, you had your free will to make a decision. And
well, I do it. I don't go to church.
Yeah.
I just listen.
That's funny because we're coming from two opposite ends of the spectrum. For me, I wasn't raised or born into the church. As an adult, I made a decision, and I believe it. I believe it. I almost have proof, and we're getting yelled at.
We're getting.
Where was that proof?
We're coming back to
this. Like, oh, great one.
Because I'm making Dawn uncomfortable. I know.
No, you're not making me uncomfortable. I'm just going to now try to manipulate the situation when we come back and make you believe in Jesus. We'll be right back after these messages. You don't want to miss this. Dawn manipulating Danny, Jesus Christ.
Hi, I'm Deacon T with Modern Word Ministries. It's great to be with you today. Just a short little promo for our show. Every Sunday morning we have service, and you can follow us at 10 a.m. Pacific Time on modernwordministries.org. And if you missed us or you want to see some of our older messages, go ahead and check us out on socialmediashows.com every single morning at 9 a.m. It's a great way to kick off your day, get a little bit of the word in you, get something uplifting, get you started off on your way. You know, if you're looking for prayer or you need some help, reach out to us. If you go to our website, again, that's modernwordministries.org, you can interact with me via telephone, via DM, text message, whatever you want. I'll get right back to you. So if you need prayer, you need help, you just need somebody to talk to. Modern Word Ministries is here for you. We are your church in the community. So until you see you next time, be blessed, everybody. Bye-bye.
Hello, everyone. This is Joseph Skoda with Social Media Shows. Well, I thank all of you for your support through these last several years, and it's been a lot of fun. We've given people a voice they never had before. Now, Social Media Shows is always collaborating with our veterans to help them do things and help out the veterans who are struggling today. And we teamed up with GI Connections, connecting veterans with resources. So please consider helping and donating to this great cause because we're always doing things for veterans. So GI Connections, Social Media Shows, and you is what makes the world a better place. Once again, Joseph Skoda, proud United States Air Force veteran.
Kidding? We were just having a little small debate on Jesus Christ. I'm only kidding. So Danny, let's get back into it.
I Googled and showed her. Am I right?
You're absolutely right. I thought he was playing with me and joking at first. No, he actually Googled and showed me. Guys, you got to Google this. Something's going on.
Something's going on. The Vatican's basically preparing us that there's going to be apparitions in the sky.
Yeah.
And to me, that, I don't know, this is very, very strange.
Yeah.
Don't you there's times I sit alone, I think to myself, maybe after I smoke some cereal.
You guys, he's hysterical.
After I smoke some cereal, and you sit there and you think to yourself, you look up in the sky and think, do we really know what the hell this all is? I mean, this is weird. We're in a weird, what is this? Do you ever think that?
I do not.
I think I'm getting older, and I know I'm going to meet God soon. So I'm starting.
You are such a deep thinker. Let me ask you.
All right.
Were you like this as a young person too, where you just went in and just got deeper and deeper instead of looking at something like we had a conversation once about a bird and it went somewhere crazy. Instead of just
because I don't know how it flies.
What it is, does your brain just have to go to the depths of everything, right?
Yes.
How, why, when, where? You can't take it for value.
No.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
You have to know, and you have to dig deep. You're like a mental investigator of everything, and you have to know. And I think that's why you think so deep. You're like getting in the guts of everything. Some things are just what they are.
Well, if you had a guess.
I know this is going to be funny. I already know.
Listen, I'll give you my guess. God, I hate to say this. This is definitely spiritual. This is spiritual, what we're all in. I would 100%. And And did you ever watch that show where they, oh God, Sheldon, what's his name? Sheldon, young Sheldon and
The little boy.
Yeah, what's that? I put that movie, The Big Bang Theory or whatever, right?
Yes, yes. I've casted some people in it, but I never saw it.
I never watched the show either, but I do watch clips of it on TikTok. Sometimes people throw the clip on TikTok and it comes up, and he talks about to his mom. He's talking about God, and she goes, "Why?" And I don't think he believes in God. He's very smart, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she goes, "Why are you trying to convince me that there's a God, Sheldon?" And he goes, "Well," he said, "if gravity was such and such, just a second off, we would all just fly apart. We wouldn't have it. Like, everything's so perfect, this and that." So there's definitely an argument for a creator. That's basically what he says. And he's kind of right, because everything is perfect. So to me, for everything to be perfect, there has to be somebody.
Oh, I love the fact that... No, do you guys hear what just happened? I love the fact that he understands everything is perfect. It is divine.
It is, right.
It is exactly what it's supposed to be.
Right.
Because this is the way that he has created it. And now that's whatever God you believe in. And if you don't believe in that God, or you believe in the universe, just believe in something higher than yourself, right? Don't we always need something and someone to look up to? Me, that's my Father in heaven. That is God. That is Jesus. That is, right? For you, it could be anything. Believe in something.
There's things that, you want me to tell you why I have doubts?
Sure.
My number one doubt, and you'll never guess this. The number one doubt is, why in God's name was there dinosaurs on this planet? Them dinosaurs on this planet make me think there wasn't a God. Them dinosaurs. Like, what did God say? Let me put these big giant creatures. That shit didn't work. Now I'll get humans. Like that. To me, the dinosaurs make me think there's no God. So go ahead. Would you come back for that? Why were there dinosaurs on this planet? That's my honest to God. I say that all the time. That bothers me.
They were creating our earth. They were creating nourishment in earth. You know what they did with the trees?
No.
They're creating grounds for us to be able to have food.
Let me ask you this. Now, my dad was like you. I mean, my dad would think I was going to hell for talking like this.
I don't think you're going to hell.
My dad would.
No.
My dad would. My dad thought I was going to hell if I ate meat on Fridays.
There is such a special place for you in heaven, because I know you and I know how much God loves you and is covering you. And God is literally taking care of you as like a baby boy right now. I see it. I watch you. I know your life. You are not just lucky, Danny. You're not just successful. You're not just good looking. All these things about you that are wonderful. God has a shield over you. That is one reason I'm drawn to you. He is. He's got a shield over. I'm telling you.
The guy who questions him all the time.
Yes, and yes. I learned something in church not too long ago, and it made so much sense. Is God in my life every day? Yes. Is he there every waking moment of my life? Yes. Do I call on him a lot for things? And I pray, but my prayer is thanks. Because he already took me out of places that I didn't want to be. He already gave me the life that I really want and have. So all I do is pray to God and thank him, and I pray for other people. I really don't pray for myself anymore. I don't pray like, I hope this happens for me. I hope that happens for me.
I won't do that either.
It already happens. But I think that for you, you can tell God is just covering you. He's like, only good things. Everything you touch, and production will agree with me. Your TikTok, every person you touch, you don't realize how much you help people. Are you doing that from your soul because you're a kind guy? Yes. But you're also doing it because you're doing God's work and you don't even realize it. Every single time, Danny, wait, let me speak. Every single time you help that woman that lost her husband. Every single time you're helping that mom that can't find her child. Every single time you put someone in cuffs that hurt somebody else. Every single time you roughed up a man, and I know you've roughed up a bunch of people, that has hurt or touched a child. That was your work, and that was your work, but where did that come from in you? There's a goodness about you, and that is God.
Wow. What do I say? I can't even talk about the Mothman. I wanted to talk about the Mothman. She throws this out there.
It's true, Danny. There's a goodness about you. It's God. Believe. People pray for you. You pray because you know he's there. None of this stuff in your life is under your control. You're destined to be whatever he wants you to be. Hop on his boat and let it happen already. Stop questioning him. He's there. He's got you. And if I'm the one that has to tell you that, cool.
I had all these thoughts and now I can't think of anything.
Right. Because God's like, she's right.
She's right. She's right.
She's right. See, you're convincing me of aliens. I'm convincing you he's real. I know he's real, and I know he's so powerful in your world. You are special, Danny. And not that other people aren't. Oh, but like I was saying before, when you don't really need God, which everybody does, but when you're really okay, he doesn't really, like, put it this way. If we go into an emergency room, me and you, and I'm like, oh my God, my left toe, it hurts so bad, ingrown toe, it hurts so bad. And you go, I just got shot. Who's God running to? You. Who's the doctors running to? You.
Right.
Right now, God sees, oh, he's questioning me. I better get up in that life. I better show him and prove to him. He's already proved to me he's here. I already know. I'm never not going to believe. He's going to work harder on you, and he is. God's working harder on you than he is on me because you need to believe more than I do because I'm already believing. All he asks us is that we believe in him. Okay, this is getting way too It's true, it's true. All God wants us to know is that we believe. That's our only job. We're all going to heaven. Believe.
See, my religion scared me into believing it.
Yeah. That's probably why you feel the way you do.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I questioned everything when I was young. I did. I mean, do I believe Adam and Eve? No. Do I believe Noah's Ark? No.
Some of that stuff, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't believe it. There are things in the Bible that were written by man that were skewed out a little bit that I do not believe. There's so many things in the Bible that I'm like, full of shit. I will say that. There's things in the Bible that I believe are full of shit, but the overall concept of Jesus and us and love and the way he loves us, that he died for our sins, 100 believe that. But in the Bible, that gets skewed. That's man-made.
Right.
That's man-made.
I agree with you.
And nothing man-made is ever going to be perfect. We're all flawed. We're all sinners. All of us.
I never sinned. I didn't.
I will tell you something about you, Danny. You do more good than you do harm in this lifetime, and that's what it's about.
Good. Thank you. I appreciate that. I did have a lady. Did you see? I don't know if I posted. Some lady DM'd me, and she said to me, I love that you will say whatever you say and you don't care who likes it. You're not pandering to the people what they want to hear. You say it the way it is.
Yep.
And she goes, that's why I follow you. Because you're going to say it no matter if you offend. Like this new case. Do you see this case I'm doing? This Mecca Miller case?
No. Which one is this?
Oh my gosh. It's huge. It's so national. And I could, honestly, Dawn, if I went with the masses and said what they wanted to hear, I'd have millions of views. Instead, I'm getting 5,000 or 6,000 because people are mad at me.
Yeah.
But this Mecca Miller, okay? And it's a sad case. This is sad. This is really sad. She calls she's in maybe 30 years old, 31. Okay. She's married to a preacher in a church, okay? And he's abusing her. He's, infidelities on her, everything.
Yes.
And she calls 911. They have the 911 tape. She goes, can you trace my phone? And they're like, why? Are you lost, ma'am? She goes, well, I'm in a national park. I just want to make sure you could trace my phone. They thought she was lost, 911. They're like, oh, yeah, we see your phone here. She goes, good, because then you could tell my family where I'm at. And she hung up and kills herself. Okay? Yeah. The fisherman hears... A fisherman's out there on the river in the national park or the lake. Yeah. He said he hears faint crying and then a gunshot. The fisherman hears it. Women are coming out saying they believe the husband killed her. It was AI that called 911. There was all kind of there's all kind of conspiracies. Yeah. Now listen, this preacher husband was not good. He was cheating on her. He's put internet pics of her nude on the internet. Like he was just, she filed for divorce 2 days before this happened. There was all kind of stuff. Now they're coming out and saying, it was AI voice, this and that. So I did a video saying, listen, your emotions can't overlook common sense. The common sense is she called 911. She did this to herself. Did he have an indirect reason that she died? Of course. He pushed her into this. But he didn't kill her. But people did not want to hear that.
Do you believe, I get that.
This is a national case.
Yeah. Do you, and I did hear this, I heard it through. Yeah. Did you believe that was there any way, let me ask this, from your detective work and everything you have done, is there any way that he could have done it or he wasn't even in the vicinity? This
is what I was telling people on the internet. When, say God forbid, we come in this room and there's somebody dead here. There's a gun laying next to them. The person's dead. There's a hole in their head. What we would do is first thing you want to do is you test the hands. And it shows gunpowder.
Yeah.
So if he pulled the trigger, when you pull the trigger of a gun, gunpowder comes down, goes all over your arm.
Yeah.
You don't see it, but it's there.
Yeah.
So they put this stuff on there and it comes out. And then right away, this is the person that shot the gun.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they did this to her.
Yeah, and saw the gunpowder.
They saw the gunpowder, so they know it's her. Right away, the police said it was a suicide, but, You know how the internet is. Everything's a conspiracy.
Everything is a conspiracy on the internet.
Now this is really throwing it out there. And I did do a video last night. They did call the FBI in to help investigate this, but there's rumors that the husband was involved in other criminal stuff that the FBI was already looking into.
Yeah.
So maybe they found something through the investigation. I just don't think this guy killed him.
So let me ask you a question.
Indirectly, he did.
Yeah.
Indirectly, he
But
did.
he didn't.
He physically and emotionally
and he
abused him.
can't be charged for that.
No.
They're bringing something I heard in the psychological world. They were talking about bringing like you can't get in trouble for being a narcissist, but if someone coerces somebody into
The suicide, yes.
that they're starting to press charges. 'Cause remember that story of that young girl?
Telling her boyfriend to kill himself, and he did.
And she
was charged.
literally was telling him to kill himself, and he did so. And there are charges that got pressed against her, right? She's okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
that's
she got
becoming,
like
a
3 or
thing.
4 years in jail.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that.
That was sick though.
Yeah.
She was just telling her like
Abusing him. Mentally abusing him.
Yeah, and telling him to do it.
Yes.
Was just insane.
And honestly, this story, I feel bad for this lady. And listen, the parents are all coming out. And God, I hate to say this, but this is the truth. People don't accept suicides. They look for everything else. They don't believe their loved one killed themselves.
Yeah.
And they don't accept suicide. People always think something suspicious happened.
Well, that's the thing.
You know?
If you don't know what's going on in someone else's mind.
Right.
Somebody can look, feel fine. They have a great life. Oh, they just had a baby. They this, they that, whatever it is. And these people kill themselves, and you don't know what's in someone's head.
Yep.
You will never know.
My one of my good friends, his son killed himself. He was a drug addict, and he just couldn't get off drugs.
Yeah.
Tried everything, had him in and out of thing, and he went to work the one day. His son found his gun. His son was in his 20s, shot himself, killed himself right in the house. And, I took my buddy out. I took him for dinner, and we talked because he was in a bad spot. And I said to him, listen, I said, as a cop, he said, oh, he was fine that day. He seemed fine. There didn't seem nothing wrong. And I said, they get to a point where they accept what they're going to do.
Yeah.
And they're
then
okay
they're
with it.
okay with it.
That's why a lot of people say,
Yeah.
oh, he seemed fine. They didn't seem like...
Yeah.
That's because they accepted what they were going to do.
And they already have the plan. They already know.
And the thing is giving things away. When people are going to commit suicide, they start giving, hey, listen, I don't use this anymore. Don,
Yeah.
could you use this? Hey, they do that.
They're
know.
planning that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the signs of suicide.
Yeah.
People start giving stuff away because they know they're going
Guys,
to
you
do
hear this at our studio? Listen to this, guys. This is really good information Danny is giving right now. Well, if someone asks you if you want their sweater, don't think they're going to kill themselves the next day. We're not putting that out there, but what we are, signs to suicide are not, sleeping a lot or not waking up
Right.
or not coming around or not want to go out with you to different events. There are things like giving stuff away. What other signs do you have to suicide, do you think?
Here's the thing. I look for change in behavior in people.
Okay.
Like, I'll tell you what, especially I talk about this in my active shooting classes. When you change your behavior in somebody, like, say you get an employee, right? He's coming to work every single day. He's on time, never late, looks great. All of a sudden, late for work, taking sick time, looks like he slept in his clothes.
So anything out of pattern.
There's a change in behavior.
Yeah.
When there's a change in behavior, something's going on. This person didn't decide, I'm going to sleep in my clothes tonight.
Yeah.
It's either drugs, it's depression, it's a divorce. You got to look for change in behavior.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's what I always look at.
Guys, listen to this, because I think so many people don't understand, especially parents of children. They just think like it came out of nowhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, you know my personality, right? I'm usually 90% of the time like I am excited.
Oh, yeah.
If I came in here quiet, you'd be like, something's wrong with Danny.
Something's wrong with Danny.
Yes. I mean, people that know me, when they hear me that I'm not saying anything, they know exactly what's wrong. There's something wrong with me.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know the person you're around. You could tell if there's a change in behavior. So.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's sad, but I think she did it herself. But I don't think he was a good person. I think he was a horrible person.
Yeah.
And
how sad is that, though? This is the one thing, like, I guess maybe I don't have issues with suicide, and I have never had issues with suicide or anything like that. And don't get me wrong, I've had my fair share of emotional and mental issues.
Right.
But never suicide. How bad truly does that have to be to have your head think I'd rather be dead than just like divorce? Like, you know what I mean? A divorce. That's scary. That's terrifying. You might be left broke. I don't know her situation. You might be left with nothing. But you're alive.
Right.
Like, how bad does that truly have to be to kill yourself? That's the sad part.
I could tell you this. I hate to tell you the story, but I'm going to tell you. I had a suicide when I worked my office was in the Capitol. We had a high-profile guy that worked in the Capitol kill himself in the Capitol. killed himself during work hours.
Wow.
Wait till you hear this. He was having an affair.
I was just thinking that he must have done something.
Married.
Yeah.
Having affairs in the office, multiple affairs, and married. And, like, everybody loved this guy.
Yeah.
He had good personality, this and that. And we have video of him, right? Because we're like, we found him. They heard a gunshot. We had him on the floor in this place.
Yeah.
What he did was he went to this elevator. Honest to God, he's standing in an elevator. This lady comes off the elevator and says, "Hey, I want to get an interview for, I heard there's a position open in your office. Could I interview for it?" He talks to her like totally friendly. Then walks into this door. She's continuing for the elevator and she hears a gunshot. She said, "What the hell was that?" After he got done talking to her, he went into a room, killed himself.
Yeah.
Like seconds after he was done talking to this lady. Seconds!
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane.
That's that feeling of like being caught like in between a rock and a hard place though, but then there's still that part of like, okay, get a divorce, lose your notoriety, lose your money, like whatever it is. Some people it's just no, I don't see it. It's so sad to me. It's so sad.
I mean, and people didn't want to believe that either. You know, you had to prove that he committed suicide and this and that, and we did. I mean, he killed himself seconds after
Oh, I
the
have a
video.
question. So you said like with the gunpowder.
Yeah.
So what is the lady's name? The one that just killed herself?
Becca Miller.
So Mecca Miller. So okay, they test her gunpowder. Is it true they say also that there's a second shooter? Would the gunpowder be on her hand if someone pulled the trigger on her?
Yes.
Okay, it would
Yes,
still be.
but it would be on his too.
And they've tested him.
Well, he wasn't. I don't even think he was in the
Okay.
area.
So
I mean,
he
that's
just pretty much treated her like garbage.
Yes.
Mentally messed her up. Or maybe she was mentally messed up before him. Who knows the situation? But he was a bad guy, supposedly, and she killed herself.
And she was found quickly, Don, because the fishermen heard it and she called 911. They knew where she was. So she was found dead quickly. It wasn't like he escaped, he did this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People are like, it was AI calling. Listen, I just, you got to use common sense, and that's what I
Do
say.
you worry about that for the future?
What?
AI.
Yes,
Yeah, me too.
I do.
I do.
I do. I don't know if you know this. A guy just got fired because somebody faked him on an AI saying horrible things, and then they found out he got his job back. Somebody did an AI audio of him. So I think, honestly, I'm worried about our criminal justice system.
Yeah.
How do you know these pictures aren't tampered with
Yeah.
now? How do you know videos aren't tampered with? How do you know audio? To me, this is going to hurt the criminal justice system. I actually was going to do a video on it.
100%.
I mean,
100%. We should open a business, the anti-AI, where we can sift through and find out what's real and what's not
Yes.
real. We're going to need it in 10 years.
you're totally right. It's
Absolutely.
weird, and I use AI myself.
Yeah.
I use it, so I mean,
I see your blue eyes. Yeah.
I don't know. I
No,
stopped.
you do writing AI, right?
Yes.
That's awesome.
You
It's
can't
so
beat
good.
it.
I use it in business. I love it.
I was thinking to myself, I always wanted to write a book. I could write a book easy now.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
AI, write me a book. Boom. Done. No, I mean, you have to give them a little bit about
You
your
should
life.
write a book. Why wouldn't you?
I wanted to. I've always wanted to.
So much to say. And you
I've
know
always
what?
wanted to.
You just mentioned before. Can you do it on the show one day? Because I like when we really get into the crime thing. You said active shooter teachings.
Yes.
You used to teach that.
I taught that for 10 years.
Can we do this on the show one day
Yes.
for our especially female studio audience? Because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm in the target sometimes, and you know my brain goes a little wild. I'm not a deep thinker like you. I'm more of a realistic psychological thinker. But I will be in like the mop aisle, like the Swiffer cleaning what smells better on the floors aisle, and I'll think to myself, I'm here by myself. If somebody like rolled up in here with a gun, like I'm small enough to tuck myself into the bottom aisle, but he would see me and shoot, and then what do I do? And if I saw a kid, I'd have to jump on a kid first to protect a child. Like those things go through my head. Or if I see a kid in an aisle, I'll be like, oh, if something happens, I'll make sure I get that kid safe. Like there are things that we can do to protect ourselves in that situation. And most people don't know those things. We
Right.
just think, what would happen? What would I do? I'm in the target. Some guy's a shooter. What am I doing?
I'm going to tell you this. You got to plan before it happens.
Okay.
This, and what I mean by this, you're thinking to yourself, what is Danny talking about? What I'm saying is the minute you walk in a new place, look for the exits.
Okay.
You should be doing that.
I do that.
And you're,
I do that.
say you go to your studio.
Yeah.
You think you should go, you're sitting at your desk in your office, you should say, if I hear somebody coming through that back door that's a threat, or the front door, what's my quickest way out of this building? You should plan your quickest way out of any building before the incident happens. Honestly, that's true. And this is the
Are
worst.
you programmed to do that? Like when you come here, do you know what will happen? Like we're
I look at
fucked
exits.
in here.
I look for exits.
We'd be done.
We'd be screwed.
Yeah.
But what we would do is barricade ourselves in.
Okay.
We would have to lock that door, and we'd have to put all this stuff up. And barricading yourself in works because you figure the cops are going to get here within 10 minutes. So you have to lock. If you barricade that door, it gives cops more time to get here. And the killer wants to succeed, so he's not going to break in the door to kill you. There's other people he's going to go get. I hate to say that.
So
but it's
make
true.
it. So okay, guys.
Make
so
it
make
difficult
it difficult, like less convenient for him to kill you.
Yes, they
So
plan
barricading is one thing. So in my studio, barricade myself right in my office with that steel door.
Yes.
And then just put my shit in front of the door.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what you should be. And here's the worst thing people do, and it's human nature. We hear something and like, oh, I wonder what that is. And we get up and go look for it. Was that a gunshot? Let me go see. Go see what? You should be freaking running is what you should be doing.
I am horrible at that. Well, I guess because I work with a lot of young people and teens, but something will fall or I'll hear a loud noise and I run to it every time to make sure everyone's okay. If I'm by myself, I'm a little bit less like, what the hell was that? But like, I will run to it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, it's going to depend if I'm with my family or by myself, what I'm going to do. If I'm by myself, I'm risking things.
You're going to go get the gun.
Yes.
You're nuts.
I would.
You're nuts.
I would not leave there while innocent people were being killed. I would figure a way to get the. Now, if I was with my family, I'd get my family out of there.
So let me ask you a question.
But if I'm alone, it's different.
You're a great guy. You're a wonderful person. I know you don't want to die. I know you have a wonderful life ahead of you. But is that you inside or is that God inside that puts that in you?
I wouldn't be able, if I didn't do something, I don't know if I'd be able to live with myself.
Right.
Honestly, because I have not talents, but I have the knowledge to maybe help.
Yes, and a lot of men are not like that. You know that I'm going to say most men are runners.
Right.
And I have proof of this. I see when things go down, most men will run.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess it's till you're in that situation, but I've been in them situations and I ran towards the danger.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the way it is. And some people are going to run away from the danger, some
Or
aren't.
you could just be totally insane.
But if my
which
kids,
is likely.
If my kids were with me, it'd be a different story. If my girlfriend was with me, if you and Maria were with me, I wouldn't put you guys at risk. I'd get you out of there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But if I was by myself, I would take more of a risk, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because you need somebody to.
So what do I
shoot.
do? I'm in the store. I'm down the cleaning aisle. I'm looking at my cleaning supplies, and I hear some shit going down. Do I hide? Do I run? Do I duck? Do I take cover?
It's called run. Okay, so you want to run, hide, or fight. Fight's the last. The fight is you have no choice. You got to fight back. Some people will hide under the desk and fucking die. This is what I say in my thing. You want to hide under that desk and die, or you want to fight for your life. That's what I tell them in my
So the
story.
first thing to go
is run. Of course, no. Get an escape route. You should have an escape route wherever you are. That's what I
get out of that.
Get out of there. If not, next thing is hide. And the reason hiding is because the cops are coming, and the cops are going. We are trained to go right after that shooter because Columbine they didn't. Columbine changed law enforcement forever.
Guys, this is important. Listen to this. So the first thing you want to do is run. Okay.
Second is hide.
The second is hide.
Yes. And the reason, let me tell you why. Because in the Columbine incident, we weren't trained for active shooter police. We were trained for hostage negotiation. So what they did was they pulled up, said, come on, put your hands up. We got the place surrounded. And they're freaking killing people.
Yeah.
And this went on for hours. I don't know if you remember,
I do.
but Columbine was live on TV for 5 hours, 6 hours, because the cops were letting them kill people and not go in. We are now trained. They say 2 officers, at least 2 officers on the scene to go get the shooter. We are trained. And listen, I don't sugarcoat anything. We're trained to kill the shooter. We're killing them.
Good.
We are trained to kill him.
Didn't you kill the shooter?
Right.
Okay.
I'm just saying, people, oh my God, you only killed 40 people and the cops killed them. Oh my God. You know, people are in this thing. Oh my God, I can't take people. But anyway, off the subject, we are trained to kill the shooter.
Maria's listening.
Kill the shooter. Okay?
Our production.
Listen, there's
is
people
dying right now.
There's people, the guy killed 50 people. Yeah, but did you see the cops punched him in the face? Oh my God.
Those damn
freaking
cops.
Oh, they're horrible. He only killed 75 people. Oh my God. But anyway,
It is so crazy. So we're gonna run, we're gonna hide, and then if we have to fight, like
you have to fight. And hide. The reason I'm telling you hiding works is because now the cops immediately going to get the shooter. You are going to kill the shooter. You're going to kill the shooter. And I'm going to get chills when I tell you this, because it brought tears to my eyes when we were getting trained. They looked at us and they told us straight out, there's a good chance if you're the only officer on that scene, you're going to die. That's what they told us. They said, you're the first couple officers on this scene. These guys planned this attack. They're planning you coming. There's a good chance you're going to die.
one that's
there's a good chance you're going to die. A very good chance. But if not you, then who? When they said that line to me, I got chills right now. They said, if not you, then who is going to save these people? You're it. You're their only hope. If not you, then who? And you know what? And you can talk about American police officers. They're horrible. They're this and that. But I'm going to tell you, we are the only police in any country that are willing to die for you. That's the truth.
That's absolutely
And let me
right.
tell you something.
Yep.
This guy, he traveled all around the world. He trained police all around the world. Most police officers in other countries, when there's an active shooter, they lay their guns down and run.
Yeah.
Our cops, and they know, the terrorists know, our cops will die.
Yeah.
And they're scared of American cops. That's why we don't have a lot of terrorist attacks over here, because they know American cops will die.
Yeah.
Where other people won't. There was a shooting in a mall in another country, Mumbai, or I can't think, am I saying that right?
Yeah.
And there was another, and them cops laid their guns down and ran. They didn't help the public at all. They laid their guns down and ran. American cops, I can tell you this, they won't do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's an ego. They will die for you.
I think it's got to just be like from generation to generation to generation that this is what you do. You protect.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I ran into so much danger. I told you, 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes again. Is this our last break? Okay, last break, and then we got like 10 minutes. All right. So this was actually a good one, because I'm telling you, Don, at that seminar, and I'm just give you a little bits of my seminar, but
Can we do it? One
Yes.
day we'll check with production, see if we can do it, because I think a lot of people log on to see that, and especially, we just got the thumbs up on doing this. Maybe not next week, the week, but whenever you're ready,
Yeah.
and we can like really get into the guts
Christine
of this.
Anderson, she was shot 3 times in the Virginia Tech incident.
Okay.
I went to personally see her speak. Like, I went to see her speak because
Yeah.
I wanted to hear her speak and how she survived this. I could tell you her story on another thing. Like, I'm friends with her on Twitter and everything. She goes out and speaks, and she was shot 3 times, and she saved herself by pretending she was dead.
That's
During
so
the Virginia Tech
horrific.
thing. The Virginia Tech thing was horrible.
How psychologically terrifying does that have to be? You can't like lay there while you're injured saying, get some help, let me pretend I'm dead, probably thinking she was gonna die. That is so terrifying.
You know how I'm into TikTok now? You're always
Yeah.
saying, that's how much I was into this. Like, I taught this, I'm not kidding you, twice a week for years.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm
Because
excited,
people
'cause I do
heard me, and
this.
then they would say, oh, we want him to speak at our place, and I give realistic situations of
Yeah.
what you could do. And, you have to fight back at one point. You got to fight for your life, and I go over how to fight back and what to do.
Yeah,
You got to fight in a group.
in a group.
Like, so if we were stuck in this room and that guy was getting through that door,
Yeah,
the 4 of us would have to attack him together. 4-on-1, we got a better chance. 1-on-1, not so much. 4-on-1, we got a better chance. You got to fight together.
I
You gotta
gotta be
get in there.
honest with you. Like, I think I'd be the first person on him. I'm a fucking animal. I am. It's a defense mechanism I have. I would just be like nuts. My defense mechanism is so crazy. When I think someone's coming at me, I go nuts. It's the strangest thing. It's happened. Like,
I believe you.
yeah, it's happened.
Listen, I never.
My defense is
I
just
hope
so
I never.
high.
I don't never want to hurt anybody.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm just that type of person. I went through a whole police career. We're not shooting anybody.
Yeah,
But I know I can if I have to.
yeah.
I do. I know I can
See,
defend
that
anybody.
blows my mind because you're so like, woo! Like me, if you gave me a gun, I would shoot people. I would not be able to hold myself. I would not. I'd be like, what'd they say? Like, I wouldn't be able to.
And let me tell you something else. People practice, right? Shooting, practice,
Yeah.
practice, and they want to get so good at it. The truth of the matter is, the gunfight's about this close. That's most gunfights are this close. When the fight happens, it's this close. So could I get up?
Yeah.
So they had us practicing, Don, of doing this, pushing the person and shooting them. So we would practice that. We'd practice like, oh my God, he's pulling a gun.
Away.
Yeah, you're creating distance, boom, boom, boom. We'd practice that, boom, boom, boom. Like just boom, 3 shots, boom, boom, boom. And the public's really going to be mad when I tell you this. We also practice shooting him twice in the chest. If he doesn't go down, we shoot him in the head. And the public don't want to hear that, but that's what cops
So
train to
let
do.
me ask you, like, how come
Because he has a bulletproof vest on. If he didn't go down after we shoot him in the chest, we go right to his head. We practice that. They'll go, boom, boom, boom. And then we'll put our gun away. They'll go, boom, boom, boom. We practice that like it's muscle memory.
So if let's say there was an intruder coming into my house. Oh, I think we had to take a 2-minute break. We're going to get yelled at.
We'll come right back. We'll talk about shooting.
Right back to shooting.
The year is 2980, and we now know that death is not the end. A soul can be extracted from the recently deceased and be used to create a blue liquid called essence. It can bring a person back to life.
We'll get her back.
I hope so.
It's an expensive process used by the rich and powerful. The rest, they do what they can to survive.
Stay right there.
You told me you're hiding from some dangerous people.
Let's knock on the door. I spent the last year searching for the Deep Star. A bounty so big that the entire galaxy could be yours.
People have been looking for the Deep Star for years. They can't be found.
It's because they can't find the distress beacon. I know where it is.
If we find the Deep Star, we could get enough credits to bring Mom back.
Blast off.
Guys, we have company.
You can run, but you cannot hide. Prepare for impact.
I am now authorized to take action.
And now you die.
No!
Welcome to social media shows. Have you been watching social media shows recently? Of course you have. We have been live streaming for 4 years across social media platforms. We produce over 70 shows with over 1,000 episodes. In the process, we've helped over 100 creators realize their dreams and start their own show. We give platforms to promote your business. If you are an artist, if you have an event, if you are entrepreneurs, or if you have a story. If you haven't done it yet, go ahead and subscribe and follow us on major social media platforms. And if you have a great idea of a show, join us. Social media shows can help you produce and live stream your own show. Let us help you make your dream become a reality.
And welcome to the next exciting episode of
Arena War. Fresh batch of institutionalized gladiators fighting for their freedom.
Ready, here we go. You guys heard Perez?
Yes, smell that.
Get back!
Those on the line, the parole board has offered you a ticket out. Win Arena Wars, win your freedom. 7 arenas with 7 of the most vicious killers the world has seen in the last decade. You make it out alive, you get to go home.
Luke Bender, you're an innocent man. Innocent man can mean big ratings.
I'll be watching.
I think it's time to audition Mr. Bender.
No!
What was your last physical?
Cell block shower this morning. Oh yeah.
You ready for this?
Impressive showing out there tonight. You're the new fan favorite.
Are you with me? Cutie pie back for the kill.
If you want to live through this, we have to work together. I'm watching you.
Smile for the camera, thug life.
Wow!
It's showtime!
We have to finish this.
Come on!
Doesn't sound much like rehabilitation, does it?
To shooting.
And to apparitions.
So we just decided, and production cleared us, that Danny is going to do seminar type thing about active shooting and how to protect us as a community. And it's both for men and women, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And you know, yeah, men could do. And you know what? It's funny you said that. I'm so glad you said that. I did these seminars. I was telling Don for 10 years. I don't even know how many people I taught. Yeah. I know one time I filled an auditorium of 10,000 people. I did it at seminar for. And I'm going to be honest with you. More women signed up for my seminar than men.
Of course.
Men don't like to sign. I don't know why men don't want to do it, but I would say 70% of my audience was women, to 80% that would sign up, because we'd have a sign up for that thing, and at least
I also think psychologically women are more vulnerable to say, hey, I don't have any control of if an active shooter comes in. I think a man's natural reaction is, oh, I'd take care of it.
Yeah, but he can't. You can be the strongest man in the world. If the guy has a gun, it ain't going to matter. It's not, and men, you're right, men have that attitude. And, you know, we were talking, me and my daughter were talking, like, she's like, Dad, do you ever get afraid? Women got to be afraid everywhere they go. They could be attacked, this and that. Men don't have to. And I thought to myself, you know, of course, your husband's so much bigger than me, right? I'm 5'9", your husband. But here's the thing, why men don't attack other men. And honestly, because a man could be stronger than the other guy, could be bigger, stronger, but that man could still knock that other guy out. He can get a lucky punch in and still overtake him. What I'm saying is the weaker guy could still knock the stronger guy out.
Absolutely.
And men know that.
So let me ask you. You in a seedy neighborhood or something, and you just have to like get out of your car real quick or get out of your truck real quick and go, guys. Do you ever think like I might be in harm's way?
Never.
See, right now in the room we have 3 women in the room, our production team and myself, and I know they're going to agree with me. Every time you get out of a vehicle as a woman, you think, one, who's around me? Like, to me, I'm like, one, who's around me, and 2, this is going to sound funny, what type of shoes do I have on?
Right.
Can I run? Can I kick someone? You know, and like I consider myself kind of a tough person. I'm a little firecracker. But again, not to a gun, I'm not a firecracker. Not to mace, I'm not a firecracker. Not to some guy grabbing me in a chokehold, I'm not a firecracker. Right. So, but it is a thought of ours. And I think most women too. And I feel sorry for the women that it's not a thought of theirs, because then they're putting themselves in danger.
Right.
I think I told you this once. This gentleman had told me, he was in law enforcement, and he said, Dawn, be so careful. You are a typical victim. And I said, why? He goes, you carry around this big giant bag. He said, you have long hair. He said, at the time, I guess I looked like I didn't focus at all. And he said, why wouldn't somebody grab you out? And I'm like, it makes sense. Like, they can just, it's scary.
Right.
It's a thing.
They look for easier targets.
Easier targets.
I hate to say that. That's why they pick on old people.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't want to get in a fight. They want it to be easy. They want to rob the person, that's it.
That's another thing. We talked about this a while ago on one of our other shows. Can you tell these guys some tips too, like how to make it not easy for them? Like you taught me. What was it? One, get my head out of the phone. That was one thing. Oh, wait. Hold on. I'm having an ADD moment. I wanted to tell you. He was an actor with Adam Sandler. He's in all of his movies. He's an older guy.
Oh, the guy got punched in the face in New York.
Yes.
I did a video on that. Yeah, I did a video on that. Did you see the guy that punched him?
No.
The guy was huge.
All I did was saw that.
I'm surprised he didn't knocked him out. This guy was huge that hit him. And they're looking for him right now, but he's just walking down the street. It's a new thing. They punch people in the face in New York City.
Was he on his phone? Is it like
I don't know. He just got knocked out.
Because I heard.
He had to go to the hospital and get treated and everything. Well, I can't think of his name.
Shemi.
He was even in The Sopranos.
Yeah, Shemi.
He's like a season in The Sopranos he was in.
He's
in all the Adam Sandler
His last
movies.
name is Shemi.
Yeah, he was a fireman in New York City, and then he became an actor. Yes. He's sort of like Dennis Leary.
He's a good actor. I like Dennis Leary.
I loved Rescue Me. Did you ever watch that? I love Dennis Leary. What happened to him? Bring him back. He was good.
Is he alive?
I don't know. He was good, though. I like Dennis Leary. What the hell happened to him? See, we can go right off the track. It's the ADHD. We're going from shooting, apparitions.
I knew I had to ask you about something, though. But yeah, I didn't know if it was one of those situations where they're saying that people in New York are trying to, like, tell other people, get off your phones and punch them in the face. That is sick. I mean, that's where,
New York City's out of control. Yeah. I know you love your city.
I know. I love my city. I would never live there. Never would I live in New York City again. Sorry. Nope. I'm spoiled here in Las Vegas.
I love Vegas, man.
I love Vegas.
So I love it. I can't see myself ever leaving it.
Okay, one more thing. So you're right. I'm wrong. When I'm wrong about something, I will 100% say I'm wrong. You did show me very nice water in Lake Mead. I saw it in your video.
See? Dawn thinks this is like this filthy, dirty.
Because it's
one of the cleanest lakes I've ever been to.
I'm thinking it's like the Hudson. Like
it's not.
And like thinking it's a Hudson was like a leg, you know, I'm like gonna.
Oh, I showed you. I said, look, I can see my feet. I did do that for you.
Yes.
So you can see. Yes.
And I was like, oh my God, that looks like nice water. But that's not right over where all the boats are, Danny. That's baloney. You're farther away.
I'm 15 miles up from in the other room.
So where the boats are all docked,
it's still nice. It's still
it's like baby poop green.
Don't listen.
It's green.
Listen, I swim. I'm probably gonna go swim there tonight. Listen, I love Lake Mead. Dawn,
I love Lake Mead too. Just the green part is not like.
When I'm out in that kayak, I swear to God, it's like it's spiritual. I'm out there by myself. I honestly, I prefer going fishing myself. I prefer being on the kayak myself. You probably shouldn't do that.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
While you're by yourself in the kayak, next time you're out there, I want you to think of me and I want you to say to God,
okay,
tell me you're here. And he's going to tell you. Watch.
Well, if he does, I'll believe.
Tell me, if the fucking massive bass just pops in your fucking boat like, hello, Danny. You're going to be like, Dawn, I swear to God. I'm like, oh, now you're a believer.
You know what? And I know we got to go, but I got to tell you this. Olivia, when I catch a fish, she's like, men are so weird. Like, you'll sit here in this boring thing, and in 10 seconds you catch a fish, and you're like, oh, look, I caught a fish. Nobody cares. And then you got to show him, look at a fish I caught. Nobody cares.
I love her. It's so
like
funny.
she's like, nobody cares that you caught a fish. Why would you put that online? Like
people cared. That's a cool message. That was a big fish.
That was
heavy.
That was a big fish.
What kind of like things you have to lift? That I don't know much about fishing. I've been fishing, but I don't know much. I think I like
when you're fishing on a kayak, you gotta have a net because you'll lose the fish trying to get them in the kayak because you're off balance. You're sitting. You know what I mean? So
were you this outdoorsy and boaty and fishy back home?
Yeah, well, I fish bass tournaments.
Okay.
I was on ESPN fishing bass. I did that. I have addiction problems, and let me tell you something. What I do, I go full out, and then I'm done with that, and I do something else. Once I get good at something, I quit and I go to something else.
I love that. Like I have addiction problems. Once I get good at it, I'm done.
I am. It's weird. Like once I
conquered.
Once I conquer the goal, I kind of get bored of it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm on to something else.
I think our production team's like taking apart the equipment. They're like, get that.
I think they canceled us. Did we get canceled in the middle?
We didn't curse. We just talked about you. And
you didn't offend anybody overweight this week.
I never offend people overweight. What else? No. I'm trying to think.
I grew up by saying you offend people for overweight. Listen, we just want everybody to be healthy.
Yeah.
And that's me too. I'm going to drop another 10 pounds.
Oh, one more thing. Hugh Hefner. I got to talk about this. I really just have to tell you because my books are so interesting. Hugh Hefner was getting too old in 2017, right before he died, to walk. You're looking at me so bored.
No.
You're like, ugh.
No, I was
hurry it up.
No.
I'm just kidding. He literally was driving around Disney with on one of those chairs because he was too whatever. But he felt bad for everyone else that had to walk. So him and his whole like lollipop crew were like in the things, and it reminded me of you. And I was like, Danny's gonna do that when he's fucking old. He's gonna be thin and old and frail on his little cart. Like, look at me.
I'll still think I'm hot.
I'm not that. You will be.
Listen, honestly, Hugh Hefner, I'm telling you, when we were kids, we hid the magazines. I'll finish it on that. Yeah. Suzanne Summers magazine it was. I remember we had the Suzanne Summers.
She's still alive. No, she died.
No, she just passed, yeah.
I loved her. What was her name in the show?
Chrissy.
Chrissy. Yeah, I loved Chrissy. She was my favorite.
Next week.
What are we doing next week? We have a game plan?
No,
probably not.
We just talked about, there'll be some UFO talks or something.
Yeah, we have a couple of things going on though. Real quick, I'm still working on Easy's Waltz, Al Pacino, Danny's mom would have said Danny's best friend. No.
Yes. Yeah, me and Vince are like this. I think he's going to call me next week.
Don't you have dinner plans?
I have dinner plans with him, yeah.
Vince Vaughn, Al Pacino, Easy Waltz. Guys, if you want to be on the movie, I am filming this week. Again, well, I say like I am not filming this week, but we are filming this week. I have Wednesday, Thursday, and all of next week going on. Please hit me up, Dawn Sullivan _ Rise Talent Management, www.risetalentmanagement.com. Dawn Sullivan _ My phone number is everywhere online. Just log in, get in touch with me. If you guys want to start any kind of acting, modeling classes, I am still doing the International Model and Talent Association, New York City, July 6th to the 13th, 2024, but we are auditioning this Saturday coming up, the 18th. So this Saturday, the 18th, I am auditioning for the IMTA, International Model and Talent Association. Anything else going on in the studio? Yes, on the 26th, I am receiving an award for the Health and Wellness Expo. On the Health and Wellness Expo, they are giving me an award. I can't think for the life of me who nominated me for health and fitness, but I think that is awesome. So thank you for the nomination, and I am getting an award. But not only that, I have some models in the show. I have some pinup girls going in there, and then I also have about 15 singers that are going to be there. I definitely invite you to this event and everybody as well.
I saw
so
that.
Let me know. Yeah. So let me know about that. And guys, just hit me up. Dawn Sullivan _ that's on Instagram. Have a fantastic week. Tell these guys how to get in touch with you.
At the Crime Solver on TikTok. And listen, my Instagram's starting to take off.
Yes.
Danny _minor. I'm averaging about 40 or 50 new followers a day on Instagram. I don't know. Finally, Instagram's getting me.
They're
Instagram.
picking it up.
Yeah, I'm at like I gained probably 1,000 followers in the last 30 days.
And look out for my TikTok too. It's Dawn Sullivan 17, I think _ but Danny's going to help me with that one of these days. We'll get there.
And listen,
14,000 followers.
TikTok just went. I got the email last night, and I want to talk to you, Maria. 30-minute videos now. You could do 30 minutes. So I think the three of us get together. We do like a little 30-minute short film, and we put it on TikTok. That's what I think.
Can't beat that.
30-minute film. We could come up with maybe a 30-minute horror movie. Maybe I could be the killer.
He wants to be the killer.
Oh, yeah. Maria could be the killer.
Oh, Maria is going to be the killer. Yeah, that'll be great.
All right.
I don't play a good victim. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah,
I don't.
I've
got to be like a heroic somebody. I've got to save someone. I suck as a victim.
Honestly, I want to do that.
The horror movie?
You're going to kill me?
Maria's like, I want to kill you, Danny. I love it. They love each other, but she wants to.
Listen, I'm a little bit kidding, but I'm really not.
Yeah.
I mean, they're coming out with these 30-minute videos because I think they want you to do like a little tiny short film.
I was on set last night. I know we don't have time, but I had to go on set and support some of my younger actors yesterday. By the way, shout out Nate, Tay, Divine, August. Shout out to you guys. They filmed last night. I didn't get home till like 1 a.m. because I was watching these guys film. They were filming on the set of Paralysis down there close to my studio. You guys were amazing. It's a violent, negative scene. I can't say too much about it, but I watch these boys that are 17 to 25 years old. I watch them as good boys in class and stuff, and I love them, and they call me Mama Dawn. I'm watching them say inappropriate shit, do inappropriate shit. I'm like, oh, I gotta leave. I'm like, I can't watch this shit. These kids are really like, the words coming out of this kid's mouth. One guy was choking a girl out. I'm like, I'm not. Anyway, I can't say too much about that, but congratulations on all you guys on Paralysis. That was really cool. And that last night was the last night of rapping, so that was cool. Production. Yeah. Okay, guys, we will see you next week.
We'll just talk about anything.
Everything.
This is the show where we talk about anything.
And everything.
Yeah. Whatever Danny's thinking that time.
Yeah. Believe in God.
All right. See you next week.